They're blank, have white, weird orbs in them. Where's Bigfoot? We've seen the deer, raccoons, bears, cougars, mice, wolves. Yet Sasquatch is nowhere to be seen. It can't just be the master of camouflage. Yet the scientists, or the pseudoscientists, refuse to acknowledge that piece of information. It's kind of important, don't you think? What do you think? In your research, is that kind of important?
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, the reason why I mention all of this is because I want each and every one of you to be vigilant. In this field, if you're not a part of it, do your homework. That includes listening to all these so-called radio shows, podcasts, videos, Facebook Live, mainstream television shows. 90+%, and Christina can agree with me on this, are either misleading or not worth your time. But if you need to find one that suits you and your beliefs, it needs to be able to appease your credibility. And that's what it's here for. Be smart about where you look for your answers. The answers you need are important. So you must do your homework, unfortunately, to find out where the people are who truly care about your experience. They are out there. I have seen them and heard them. And like anybody on this panel can tell you, they're rare. They're truly rare. I also want to focus on the people out there who may be believers, may be skeptics, but haven't had an experience yet. You're out here who hasn't had an experience. Yourself. Microphone lady. Okay. Okay. I want you to understand this. It's okay. It's okay that you haven't had an experience. Okay? But who here has heard those people, and we've all heard them, I'm pretty sure this will be unanimous, say, I don't care what happens, I just want to experience or see something. Yeah, we've all heard them? Yeah. Lucky bastards, eh? Anyway, here's some sage advice for you. Ma'am, I would love you to listen. Okay? Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And everybody should tell those people who haven't experienced anything, be careful what you wish for. Because when you're playing with the unknown, it's dangerous. You may get exactly what you wish for, one hell of an experience. What people need to understand is whether it's aliens, ghosts, cryptids, you don't know what you're dealing with. None of us do. It's a crapshoot every single time. So we're apparently trained. Imagine what the people who are untrained are going through, trying to figure this out. Okay? Always ask for a positive experience. Always pray. Yes, prayer does work. Even though society today, especially in North America, we see a lot more people becoming atheist or agnostic. Guess what? Those on the other side, they kind of have a belief because they've seen it. Okay? They know what the do's and don'ts are. Aliens know what the do's and don'ts are. Okay? It happens. They have rules to follow. Look, what I'm saying is, I don't want you to go have an experience with the bad aliens. Meet up with some little gray guy about this big who's going to shoot lasers out of his stomach or something. Okay? Or reptilians who want to invite you over for dinner. It happens. You don't want poltergeists, upset, or angry spirits terrorizing you, your family, or your pets in your home. You don't want to run down Bigfoot to get that photo because everybody takes that photo and then have a 500-pound creature decide, yeah, not today. Okay? Be realistic with yourself. If you want to experience something, ask with pure intentions from the bottom of your heart or your soul, whatever you feel comfortable with. Make sure you are specific about what you were asking for. The answer, anything, not good enough. It's dangerous. If you love yourself or you have people who love you, think of them. Okay? The last thing you need to do is start something that you can't finish. That hurts. Even if you don't ask for it, the bad can happen. And with that, we don't want you going nuts, because it will drive you nuts. It almost drove me nuts. Okay? Or think you've opened up a Pandora's box that you can't close. There's always an answer and always a solution. That's why people like us are here for you. That's why we're here. It's taking the time to find the right people who are going to help you out. Now, for those of you who find those groups that are credible and looking to help people, this is where research comes into play. Look for reputation. Google can be your best friend. Never be afraid to ask around, okay? You have great people here whom you're connected with who will help you. They can point you in that direction. I cannot stress how important this is for you. There are more shysters in this field, believe it or not, than on Wall Street, New York. We've seen what they've done. They all think they know best, and they have no problem putting others down. Look for the groups that specialize in cleansing. Watch out for the so-called demonologists. 99% of them don't know anything. They're frauds. Remember, reputation, especially in this field, is everything. And do not open up your wallet to any of them. For many of you, the experiences have been positive and enlightening. Who's had a positive and enlightening experience? Okay, quite a few. Okay? Others have had darker experiences, and for those who are just opening up spiritually, it's like being hit with a tidal wave of information that your brain feels it could not handle. I want all of you to know you are very important. You are the reason these stories need to be told. You are the reason why people like us, and we all live on a budget, but we're spending thousands of dollars annually to try and find you answers. Okay? We're not getting paid for this. Your voice as an experiencer needs to be heard. There's always a place and people around who will listen to what you're going through. Talk about your experience, but be cautious to whom. Don't be afraid. That's the last thing you need to do is live in fear with what is happening to you. The biggest 3 words I can say to any of you tonight is, you're not alone. Never feel like you're alone. Find your safe place. And I'm going to shamelessly self-promote here. And there's a lot of people here who can attest to this. Our Spaced Out Radio Show chat rooms, they're packed with experiencers. Okay? And nobody craps on anybody or shoots people down because their story is different. Okay? Be with people who understand, because good or bad, your experience and you talking about it mentally is necessary. As someone who suffers from depression and anxiety, I'm very vocal about that on my show. I can't tell you enough how much that means. We need your stories to be told. They are important, and please don't ever buy into the brainwashing that says your stories are made up. The paranormal umbrella, if it ever got its head out of its ass and started working for the experiencers instead of their own egos, we might actually be able to solve some of these age-old questions. What happens after we die? Is there life after death? Do aliens exist? Where's Bigfoot? Can find Waldo, can't find Bigfoot. Okay? It's people like you who have had contact or out-of-body or near-death experiences who are going to help solve these riddles. And there are people working hard at looking for those answers. See above here. Okay? It's just going to take some time. Persevere through that ego and find where you're comfortable and accepted. I cannot stress that enough. Find your community. I want to thank all of you for being a part of this experience. I know, I apologize. Okay, Spaced Out Radio can be heard on our website, spacedoutradio.com. We're all over social media, on Twitter, Facebook pages, Spaced Out Radio Show. We also have a bunch of groups for you to join in as well if you want to come in and chat. We're very easy to find. I never knew this show when I started it on November 30th, 2014. I never knew what it was going to happen. I never knew what it meant to our listeners. So if you don't mind, I'd like to say goodnight with one final story. And there are many people here who listen to Spaced Out Radio who don't even know who I'm talking about, but we have one man who listens every night. He's never really active in the chat rooms. And we're talking about the power of what the alternative media should be for you. Okay? This gentleman is a big man. He's probably 6'2", 300 pounds, works in a maximum security prison in Missouri. March 2015, he gets taken. And he has some very bad surgery done from him during his extraterrestrial experience. A week later, he gets taken again. A week later, he gets taken again. He started getting taken every week for 6 weeks. Then they started coming whenever they wanted. Sometimes it would be breaks of 2-3 weeks, and he started going crazy. So one night, he's a very religious man. This isn't supposed to happen to religious people, right? They don't believe in this. He's praying to God above. He says, God, I need help here. I'm going to commit suicide. I am ready to die. I cannot handle what the extraterrestrials are doing to me. These little gray guys are doing to his body. And one day, in panic, while he's working the night shift, he's Googling everything to do with alien abduction. And for some reason, in a Google of alien abduction, the word Spaced Out Radio comes on Google. And this is when we were fledgling. We didn't even have the whole Googlebot thing going. So he tunes in. The first episode he tunes in happens to be about abduction, coincidentally. 3 months after that, he says to me online, hi, Dave. He said, hi, good to have you back. See you in the room all the time. Doesn't respond. 3 months after that, we have a conversation. A month after that, he tells me his experiences. 3 months after that, that leads into 2015, late 2015, he says, I need to tell you something. He goes, you saved my life. I was ready to die. But until I found, he goes, I prayed for help. And with that help, I found you guys. And I found the people in the chat room. And now my wife and I no longer feel like we're alone. Thanks for saving my life. I could die tomorrow, and I know that this gentleman and I have helped one person. We saved one person. Thank you for your time. Appreciate everyone. If you want to talk more, I'm available privately. We'll get to the round table now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Outstanding.
Not bad, Dave. Thank you.
All right, so the way we're going to do this, does anyone have questions before we get to these questions? Because this is all about you guys. These questions I came up with for a panel. But if you have questions of any of the guests here, the speakers here, ask them. Anyone? Going once. Going twice. All right.
You'll think of them on the way home.
But you know, listen to Spaced Out Radio.
You know where to find us at now, so.
So the first question I've got, and I went into some basic questions for anyone that's new to the paranormal. And there's some more advanced ones. So what causes hauntings? Okay.
You're gonna meet?
Okay.
What causes haunting?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things. Random death, murders, suicides.
Special attachments to the property, they don't want to leave, they love the house. Don't want to leave their children behind, or their mother and father behind, so they stay behind to safeguard them and life alive. Or just plain out mean son of a guns. I mean, that's what it basically comes down to. You get a mean person that's mean in life, they're going to be mean in death.
So why do they get stuck here?
Unfinished business, they don't flip over, they don't follow the light. I don't know, I've seen all the shows, I'm sure you have too. I ain't got that.
You're next. Come on.
Okay, why are they stuck here? So no reasons, the gentleman said, you unfinished business. Some, and particularly children in a hospital setting, imagine a 2-year-old passing, 3-year-old passing. And the way I understand it, there's the light, and maybe a relative will come through and say, hey, Billy, or Jane, come on. Well, now it's stranger danger. My mom and dad are alive, my grandparents are alive. I have never met this person.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know what's going on. I was in a car accident when I was 16. We got to the hospital. The driver from the other car, whose 2 children had passed, he gets out of the ambulance, and I see him walking with a little boy behind him. I found out later, and even looking at the kid's birth certificate, he died in the car. He did not die later in the hospital. Now, he just didn't cross in the car. He stuck with his dad because his dad was going in the ambulance. I found out later that he did cross, but they don't know they're dead, or it's unfinished business, or where you say it's a mean person. We do a residential school. We've done. Mike and I went to a residential school where the Catholic priest in the school had sexually abused children. Well, he's a priest who sexually abused children, and we're pretty confident he murdered 2 kids too. Well, I'm not going to go to the light because I'm going to go to hell.
Right.
So he's not going, and he's blackmailing these kids. Basically, say, if you go, I'm going to tell God what you did, and you're going to go to hell. And all the kids are going, oh, we're not going to go to the light yet. So our jobs are a little bit stressful to get them over, but there are numbers of reasons. Haunted places are really cool. Schools, pubs, theaters, places of high energy, laughter, good energy, and they just like hanging out there because they don't want to go yet.
Or a mass supper at the New Orleans Superdome, for instance.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yes. And that's a completely different ball of wax. Those are not good hauntings. So much happened in Katrina, and it destroyed the city. They used the Superdome as a makeshift shelter, and they weren't ready. And lots of rapes and killings went on there. And it is haunted. They even talked about it on Monday Night Football. So, yeah.
All right, Christina, what's your opinion on demonic attack being masked as a psychiatric issue?
Well, first again, like I said, 20 years, and believe me, I have been trying to find a case with demonic presence, and still haven't been able to find one. But as far as, I wouldn't say demonic, but I would even say a lot of times when people are reporting different kinds of hauntings, different kinds of experiences, then if they tell a psychiatrist or a doctor or any of that, right away, I was one of them, that the doctors want to then think it's psychiatric, there's something wrong with it. But I don't believe in demonic. At least not until I experience one myself.
Right.
Mike, what's the difference between a spirit, a ghost, and a poltergeist?
Wow.
Take that a minute.
Might be a hard one. That's all up to interpretation. A spirit could be a spirit guide, someone who protects you, that follows you and keeps you safe. A ghost could be a person that was shocked, and it's just an example, or some sort of trauma attached to a building. Like, could be example yesterday at the hub, both of us experienced a couple weird hauntings, I would say, negative spirits in my opinion, but was one of the creepy spirits, or a ghost, as we're talking ghost right now. Poltergeist can be, a good word to use would be attention seeking. You're ignoring maybe things that are happening in your house and they will go like this. They can more move stuff and alter, would you say alter your perception? Yeah.
They also, like a poltergeist can be something that we create ourselves.
Absolutely, you amplify, I think, your experiences a little bit and give them your energy to amplify them.
They can be man-made.
Yeah.
They're not a separate spirit or a separate energy. You make them yourself through anger and frustration, and they'll manifest that energy into us.
Or a teenage.
Agreed.
Good answer.
All right, Tyler, what are some of the